Okay, this is the continuation of the video where we just left off. I said it was Act 4. Sorry, didn't have enough coffee previously. We really are on Act 3. So ignore the previous little sign. Okay? So this is right after the part where Mary Warren says, I cannot lie no more. I am with God. I am with God. It's page 102 on the book with the red cover. And the book with the black cover, it is on page 94. Okay, so I'll give you a second. If you are continuing on, it's either page 94 with the book with the black cover, page 102 in the book with the red cover, or if you have one of the old school hardcover books, it's page 102 for those as well. Okay? So we're still in the middle of being in the Salem meeting house with Judge Danforth, and Proctor's trying to prove his wife's innocence. Remember, that's what he says his purpose is for coming to court, even though Paris and Judge Danforth are questioning whether or not he's come to overthrow the court or undermine the court. Okay? And Danforth has just sent Cheever to bring in all the girls. Okay? So now here it says in our stage directions, we'll start where it says, but she, Mary Warren, breaks into sobs at the thought of it after she says, I am with God, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and the right door opens and enter Susanna Walcott, Mercy Lewis, Betty Paris, and finally Abigail. Cheever comes to Danforth and says, Ruth Putnam's not in the court, sir, nor the other children. These will be sufficient. Sit you down, children. Your friend Mary Warren has given us a deposition in which she swears that she never saw familiar spirits, apparitions, nor any manifest of the devil. She claims as well that none of you have seen these things either. Now, children, this is a court of law, the law based upon the Bible, and the Bible, writ by Almighty God, forbid the practice of witchcraft, and describe death as the penalty thereof. But, likewise, children, the law and Bible damn all bearers of false witness, meaning you're lying, okay? Now then, it does not escape me that this deposition may be devised to blind us or trick us. It may well be that Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, that she herself is a witch, or she's acting on behalf of the devil. It may well be that, excuse me, Mary Warren has been conquered by Satan, who sends her here to destruct our sacred purpose. If so, her neck will break for it. But if she speak true, I bid you now drop your guile and confess your pretense, for a quick confession will go easier with you. So he says, a guile, remember that's a form of our vocab word, beguile. Drop this trick, drop your disguise, and confess your pretense. You're pretending. Okay. And then he says, Abigail Williams, rise. Is there any truth in this, in what Mary's saying? No, sir. Children, a very auger bit will now be turned into your souls until your honesty is proved. Will either of you change your positions now, or do you force me to hard questioning? Before we go any further, an auger bit. An auger was kind of like a tool that a blacksmith would use. You'd heat it up really hot, and then you put it in the fire, and it was used to help shape and forge metal. Okay, so he's not actually going to do that. That's a metaphor as him actually drilling into the girls to get the truth out of them. Okay, so basically he's like, hey, Mary, Abigail, are either of you going to go back on your word here, or do you have to have me drill hard questioning into you? Okay? So Abigail says, I have not changed, sir. She lies. Mary, You would still go on with this? Aye, sir. Abigail, a poppet were discovered in Mr. Proctor's house, stabbed by a needle. Mary Warren claims that you sat beside her in court when she made it, and that you saw her make it, and witnessed how she herself stuck her needle in it for safekeeping. What say you to that? It is a lie, sir. While you worked for Mr. Proctor, did you see poppets in that house? Goody Proctor always kept poppets. Your Honor, my wife never kept no poppets. Mary Warren confesses it was her poppet. Your Excellency, Mr. Cheever, when I spoke with Goody Proctor in that house, she did say she never kept no poppets. But she did say she kept poppets when she were a girl. She has not kept poppet. She's not been a girl these 15 years, Your Honor. Ah, but a poppet will keep 15 years, will it not? Says Judge Hawthorne. It will keep if it is kept, but Mary Warren swears she never saw no poppets in my house, nor anyone else. Why could there not have been poppets hid where no one ever saw them? Oh, there might also be a dragon with 5 legs in my house, but no one has ever seen it. So Proctor's trying to make it, trying to say, listen, you guys are you're bringing up nonsense. Paris says, we are here, Your Honor, precisely to discover what no one has ever seen. Mr. Danforth, what profit this girl to turn herself about? What may Mary Warren gain but hard questioning and worse? Why would she come here, if she wasn't telling the truth? Because it would hurt her, right? Danforth says, you are charging Abigail Williams with a marvelous, cool plot to murder. Do you understand that? I do, sir. I believe she means to murder. This child would murder your wife? It is not a child. Now hear me, sir. In the sight of the congregation, she were twice this year put out of meeting house for laughter during prayer. Put out of meeting house means she were kicked out of church because she started laughing during church, okay? Danforth, what's this? Laughter during excellency. She were under Tituba's power at that time, but she is solemn now. She's serious. Aye, now she is solemn and goes to hang people. Quiet, man. Surely it have no bearing on the question, sure. He charges contemplation of murder. Aye. Mr. Proctor. Mary, now tell the governor how you danced in the woods. Excellency, since I come to Salem, this man is blackening my name. There's your name motif. In a moment, sir. What is this dancing? She glances at Abigail, who is staring down at her remorselessly. Then appealing to Proctor, looks at him. Mr. Proctor? Abigail leads the girls to the woods, Your Honor, and they have danced there naked. Your Honor, this Mr. Paris discovered them himself in the dead of night. There's the child she is. Danforth says it is growing into a nightmare, and he turns astonished to Paris. Mr. Paris, I can only say, sir, that I never found any of them naked, and this man is but you discovered them dancing in the woods. Abigail? Excellency, Mr. Hale comes in. When I first arrived from Beverly, Mr. Paris told me that. Do you deny it, Mr. Paris? I do not, sir, but I never saw any of them naked. But she have danced? Aye, sir. Danforth, as though with new eyes, looks at Abigail, like he's finally figuring out what might be going on here in this town with these jealous people. Hawthorne says, Excellency, will you permit me? And he points at Mary Warren. Danforth, pray proceed. You say you never saw no spirits, Mary. Were never threatened or afflicted by any manifest of the devil or devil's agents. No, sir. And yet, when people accused of witchery confronted you in court, you would faint, saying their spirits came out of their bodies and choked you. That were pretense, sir. I cannot hear you. Pretense, sir. But you did turn cold, did you not? I myself picked you up many times, and your skin were icy. Mr. Danforth, I saw that many times. She only pretended to faint, Your Excellency. They're all marvelous pretenders. Then can she pretend to faint now? Now? Well, why not? There are no spirits attacking her, for none in this room is accused of witchcraft, so let her turn herself cold now. Let her pretend she is attacked now. Let her faint. Faint. Faint? I faint. Prove to us how you pretended in court so many times. cannot faint now, sir. Proctor then says, can you not pretend it? I have no sense of it now. Why? What is lacking now? I cannot tell, sir. Might it be that here we have no afflicting spirit loose, but in the court there were some? I never saw no spirits. Then see no spirits now, and prove to us that you can faint by your own will, as you claim. I cannot do it. Then you will confess, will you not? It were attacking spirits made you faint. No, sir, Your Excellency, this is a trick to blind the court. It is not a trick. I used to faint because I thought I saw spirits. Thought you saw them? But I did not, Your Honor. How could you not think you saw them unless you saw them? I cannot tell how, but I did. I heard the other girls screaming, and you, Your Honor. You seemed to believe them, and it were only sport. We were only joking around and playing in the beginning, sir, but then the whole world cried, spirits, spirits, and I promise you, Mr. Danforth, I only thought I saw them, but I did not. Paris is smiling, but he's nervous because Danforth seems to be struck by Mary Warren's story and says, surely Your Excellency is not taken by this simple lie. Danforth then says, Abigail, I bid you now, search your heart and tell me this, and beware of it, child. To God every soul is precious, and his vengeance is terrible on them that take life without a cause. Is it possible, child, that the spirits you have seen are illusion only, some deception that may cross your mind? Why, this is a base question, sir. Child, I would have you consider it. I have been hurt, Mr. Danforth. I have seen my blood running out. I have been near to murdered every day because I've done my duty pointing out the devil's people, and this is my reward, to be mistrusted, denied, questioned like a child. I do not mistrust you. Now look at the stage directions. It says Abigail in an open threat. Let you beware, Mr. Danforth. Think you be so mighty that the power of hell may not turn your wits? Beware of it. There is... It says suddenly, from an accusatory attitude, her face turns, looking into the air above. And it's truly frightened. Danforth says, what is it, child? Abigail, looking in the air, clasping her arms about her, says, oh, I know not. A wind, a cold wind has come. Oh my God, we're going to have to wait there.